Thomas to share with you guys before I forget. Okay, perfect. So why do we want to learn how to overcome objections? Number one, it's going to help you with your confidence and your competence. How many times do we, when I can talk about me coming in the business at 20 years old, I thought to myself, like some of you guys who may have been in that or may in that position right now, how can I teach somebody about finance and I'm like 20 years old and they're like 20 years older than me? Or maybe you're in a position where you're saying to yourself, like in the animated video we share with everyone now, how do I share somebody and advise somebody on their finances or even train somebody when I don't know anything about money myself, or I've never ran a business? Well, that's why you learn how to overcome objections, and that's why you hang on to your mentorship. Number two is competence, right? You want to come off like you know what you're doing. The saying fake it till you make it doesn't 100% make sense, because you don't want to fake everything here. Okay, yes, in the beginning you want to come off like you know it, but eventually you want to know the words behind the words, and you want to really learn how to read certain situations. Then, you know, there's of course at the other two ends of the spectrum, you always want to have an end in mind. When you first come into this business, yes, the selfish side of you may have been, I need to make an extra dollar, right? That's what I wanted to. I wanted to make an extra $500 to $1,000, but I got a lot more out of that. People like Shugg, they think first about helping the people, right? There's no right or wrong, but there's certain people out there. If you want to, everybody has the star system in them. If you don't know the star system, ask your upline. But everyone has a star system in them. Everybody is one of the STARs, but there's a lot of traits that speak really much to you about one person. So if I ask you about Shugg, she's an action-oriented person, and she's an R, she's a relational person, right? Talking about making money first may not be the best thing for me to recruit her, but her wanting to help people, the R in her stands out a lot more than her A. And then sometimes her A really does. Sometimes she could be an a-hole, you know, love you. But that's both of us. Making money speaks to somebody like me, somebody who's really money motivated, right? I'm not saying not everybody wants to make money. I'm not saying there's somebody in this, somebody would do this business for free from jump. We're not saying that. We're saying at the end of the day, you want to speak to people that love helping people and love making money, but you also want to learn how to do that yourself before you can teach anybody else and expect to be able to attract anybody else. One of the biggest things that Bruce taught us is how to set expectations. I think Shugg can go over this.
Well, when my teammates, when I first get my team and I'm recruiting them, I let them know that yes, this is finance. Yes, we do help people, but this is a self-improvement business. This is a self-development program with a compensation piece added to it. Because every day that you have to push yourself further mentally, you're helping somebody else. Every day you should be striving to get better, but you know the compensation is going to come along with it. So I know that we say, when I first started off, I listened to Overcoming Objections by Dave Harms and Hector Lamarck every single day. And that's exactly what I had my teammates listen to for the first 30 days, every single day. Because it's like, you can listen to an audio while you're making your coffee in the morning. You can listen to your audio while you're cleaning up the house. Like you can have that as a non-negotiable, because Hector Lamarck says your level of competence is the key to your success. If you want to be successful, you want to be confident. You want to approach somebody with the level of confidence, knowing that I know about my business. I know what they're going to say, so I know what I need to say beforehand. I always want to be in the position where I already know what you're going to say. So I'm ready. It's like a game for me. I'm ready. I'm prepared. But if you're not prepared and ready, your foundation isn't solid.
All right, guys. So we're going to get started on training, real training. So we're going to do something a little bit different today than what you guys are probably used to. I'm telling you, get ready. So you see this 15-second timer down here. For those of you guys who everyone should be paying attention, okay? Because we call on you, you don't want to be embarrassed, okay? So we're gonna have fun here. It's okay to, have the wrong answers to the questions we ask. That's okay. We want to learn here. We want to be as a team here, and we want to have fun. So everyone if you get called on, you have 15 seconds to answer the overcoming objection. Because like Shugg just said, you want this to be reflexive. Right? You're not going to take in the real world, in the real QA, 15 whole seconds to answer somebody, but we will give you some time to think about your overcoming objection, okay? So first thing we're going to go over, first type of objections? IBA objections. So the first one I think, Shugg, did I say that I was going to do that, or you said you're going to do that? Oh, you're on mute, Shugg.
Okay, so I don't have the 124. Who am I going to call on today? Jen, unmute. Unmute Sarah.
Sarah. All right.
Oh, goodness.
All right, so
15
where
seconds started.
You don't have the 124. Do you have any money set aside for like any upcoming like what's the word? Any kind of
Done. And you're done. Uh-oh. All right. No. All right. So this is going to be fun. Okay, you guys, let's see what the 124 is. I don't have the 124.
Well, you said you can start this one off. I'll just say what I say so I don't hear it, Jen.
No, no problem. So one thing is, and Sarah, when we go through this, and I'm going to spotlight Sarah because, of course, that's the first person we picked on. So Sarah, now you won't get picked on again. I hope not, right? So you want to be very assumptive that people do have the 124. And if you guys listen, Sarah said, do you have any money set aside? That's a question that I would not ask, only because it gives them a chance to say no. Okay? So you want to be assumptive. People do have the 124. It's a mentality. You don't have to feel bad about asking them to have the 124 or put up the 124 or even think, oh my God, they have to pay 124 to come into our system. Listen, jobs ask you to spend money too. I was a server. I served at low-class restaurants. I served at high-class restaurants. The high-class restaurants where you make the most money, the more valuable restaurants, they ask you to spend 50, 70, 40, 50, 150 bucks on a uniform, a whole uniform. They don't feel bad about asking you to do that. So if the more valuable restaurants and the more tasty restaurants and the higher class restaurants ask you to spend more money on your uniform because they know you're going to make more money here, then we know this opportunity is better than everything else. We shouldn't even think to ourselves, even if they don't have it in their bank account, listen, people can get it. And that's what you want to adopt in your mind. So don't ask, do you have the 124 in any capacity? Instead, Shugg asks, when can you take care of the 124? Today or tomorrow? You see how much more different that question is? When can you take care of the 124? Today or tomorrow? Today or tomorrow? This 124, Mr. New Recruit, potential recruit, takes care of your background check, studying material, and business tools. But once you pass, the company reimburses you for your background check and studying materials. And one thing that Shugg does, I do, I know Alex does, Val does, have them download the Primerica app on the spot during the IBA submission so that they can see their $100 get refunded to them. At this point in quarantine time, we should not even be running into, I don't have the 124, because they're going to get it back anyways. And Shugg, she's a mom of 2. She could have easily said, I don't have the 124, but I said, hey, Shugg, it's just 124. It's going to cover your background check, your studying material. Oh, by the way, you get it back through training. Easy, right? I didn't even feel bad about asking Shugg. What about my trainer that asked me? I came from Section 8. Right? I didn't have the 124. I legitimately did not have that in my bank account. I actually had to make a call because my trainer asked me, do you have anybody that can help you? He asked me, who can help you with the 124? That's another question. I'm not saying ask people to borrow money, but at least give them a solution. Your job as a trainer to be solution oriented for them. Okay? Next. How do I find my clients? Who do we want to pick on?
Me right. This one.
Pick somebody.
Okay. Sandra.
Sandra. All right. Sandra, unmute yourself.
I did. I'm unmuted. So
Okay.
don't call on me. How do I find my clients? Look in your contacts in your phone. Let's look at your family, your parents, siblings, your best friends. Who do you call when you have a problem?
Okay, you're done. Ready? So Shugg, if that's a good couple questions. See, she put some questions in there. What's the answer? How do I find my clients? Shugg, go ahead. This is yours. Uh-oh, I think you're on mute, Shugg.
I'm just talking. Okay. During training, I assist you with developing your market. It's my job to train you on how to develop your market in several ways via tech, on social media, online, and utilizing your warm market. So we keep it as simple as possible when it's the IDA time. Okay, so we don't tell them like necessarily go through your phone right now, who's the closest people to you, because we want them to have the illusion like we're guiding them the entire way. We're not just throwing them inside their market by themselves. We're going to help create a system for them.
Perfect.
And we talk about they're not going at people, but going through people, because the thing is, when you're approaching somebody, you're bringing your knowledge and they're bringing their credibility. You don't want to ruin, people don't want you to ruin their credibility in the field. Even with me and Jen, right? Jen was, the way that I was a client, you know, I called Jen. Me and her appointment wasn't necessarily the way appointments would be for field training. So even though when I first started being a part of the business, I was a silent partner, I still needed to go on field training because I especially wanted to see, hey, how are you going to be talking to my people? Because I don't want you to ruin the credibility. Even though I've known Jen since we were 11, that still lingers in the back of my mind. So we talk to them about going through people because more people know people versus going at people, and it makes people feel more comfortable.
So and remember, guys, so Sandra, if I can touch on what you just said, it seemed like that the way that you were trying to overcome that is more so when you're in the fast start meeting. We're not asking people to dump their names and numbers out right now at all. We're not even asking for names and numbers when we're trying to first get the IBA, right? These are objections people are going to get. So you don't want to just jump at them and ask for a name and number already. You want to make sure that you explain the overcoming objection. And then, like Shugg said, keep it as simple as possible, right? And remember, guys, every person that people put you in front of is going to lead you to a guaranteed 3 to 5 other referrals. Because Rochelle, who Shugg is training phenomenally, she's already been on 8 field training appointments, right, Shugg?
Yes.
And Rochelle's been here, I think, less than a month.
Yes.
I mean, that's amazing. And Shugg told me that she has on average 3 to 4 referrals from each appointment. That Rochelle doesn't freaking care about one person becoming a client. She's got like 30 plus more clients to meet with and waiting on her call by the time she's licensed. But we communicate that to people. Next, you trying to get the IBA? They say, I don't have the time. Okay, Shugg, I'll go over this. Want to pick a victim?
Trayshawn.
Okay, hold on. Oh, Trishana better know the answer.
I feel like she would. I feel like she would give us.
Yeah, okay. So I don't have time. How would I overcome this? Someone tells me I don't have time. But what are your non-negotiable? Are you doing anything non-negotiable today? At this time, or what are your non-negotiables? When people tell me they don't have time, yeah, I just ask them like, are you doing anything non-negotiable? Well, yeah.
All right, I don't have time. Did she answer that, Shugg?
Let's adjust it slightly. Okay.
168 hours in a week. Yep. Okay.
Save yourself after the timer, okay? Listen, I don't have the time, Trishana. How much time do you think you need, Trishana? Let them answer that. They're most likely guys gonna say, that's what they're gonna say, okay? People don't know what they're talking about, right? So Trishana says, I don't, like, Shugg, go ahead, actually, if you can role play with me really quick, this would actually help a lot. So how much time do you think you need, Shugg?
How much time do people need? Maybe like 20 hours.
20 hours? Okay. So is time the only thing keeping you from getting started, Shugg?
I mean, yes, because like I have a lot of other things to do. Like I'm a mother, I have household things to do. Like I have other things that utilize to bring in income.
Okay. So So if you found the time, what you're saying is if you had the time, if you found the time, then you definitely could do this.
Potentially, yeah. But it just seems like you're asking for a lot of.
Okay. If it wasn't a lot of time and you could find the time, then you would definitely do this then?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, great. So let me ask you, how many hours do you normally work per week?
About 30.
Okay, 30 hours between all your businesses. Do you,
Yeah.
you travel to, your clients' work, or do you work from home?
Yeah, I travel from to my room. Yeah, basically.
So you travel from your couch, your bed to your room?
Yeah.
Okay, so not really travel. You don't really travel on the highway or
No,
anything.
no, I don't have to do that.
Okay, so that's not much time there. How many
Mhm.
hours do you normally sleep per night? I know with children, it's kind of hard sometimes.
Like 7.
7 hours? Okay. So I'll give you an extra hour. Let's say you even sleep 8 hours a night, right?
Hmm.
Okay. On average, how many hours do you think you really actually spend time with your family per day or per week, whatever you feel is easier for you to calculate?
About 3 hours a day.
3 a day? Okay, 3 hours a day for your family. And do you normally go to church, or do you have any other extracurricular activities
Yeah, we
that really are non-negotiable?
throughout the week that like 4 hours max throughout the week.
4 hours throughout the week, extracurricular activities? You said yes, Shugg?
Yes.
Okay, and those are your non-negotiable hours.
Yeah.
Okay, so those are activities. Now, is there anything, we talked about work, your businesses, we talked about, sleep, we need that. We talked about time with your family, that's important. We talked about extracurricular activities that are non-negotiable to you, that are very important to you. Is there anything non-negotiable in your schedule that I've missed at all?
No.
Okay, so what I want to do is, let me just look at this. Let's look at this, because you might be right. You might actually not have time, right? So you spend 30 hours a week for your business. You spend 7 hours a night, but I'm going to give you 8. 8 times 7, that's 56 hours a week of sleeping. You spend 3 hours a day for your family times 7 days. That's 21 hours right there. And then you spend 4 hours a week with extracurricular activities. So if I really took a calculator, and mind you guys, look at that. It says break down your schedule, use a calculator, right? So I'm showing this to Shugg. So you spend 30 hours sleeping, 56 hours a night sleeping. 30 hours with business, 56 hours sleeping, 21 hours for your family for the weekend, 4 hours. Wow, 111, lucky number.
Oh, look at that.
Okay, you guys don't know anything about that. That's Shugg and a lucky number for her. So, Shugg, you spend, 111 hours every week doing non-negotiable stuff. That's a lot of hours, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, listen, Shugg, you spend a total of 111 hours. That's a lot of time. The great news is there's 168 hours per week, and you spend only 111 hours of that, which still leaves you time to do what else that you want. That's 57 hours. So if I were to say if you said you didn't have time, but we just found you time, would you be willing to take 8 to 10 hours a week to make 2,000 to 4,000 a month, as long as you had the rest of the other 57 hours to yourself?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So you said you didn't have time, we just found you the time. Let's go ahead and get started. So let me break this down really quick, guys. You have to break down the hours, because first, when you ask them how much time do you think you need, they don't have the answer. Then you ask them, well, is that the only thing that would keep you from getting started? Because you want to isolate that objection and make sure that's the only thing that's really their issue. Because some people give objections and they're not real objections. So then you ask, if you found the time, then you definitely could do this, right? That's called a commitment. It's a small commitment, right? You're just getting the commitment before you get the commitment. Then you really break it down, right? Sometimes when you're talking to a man, and I learned this from Samir. So a tip that I learned from Samir that's helped me a lot, he said, if you ask any man, are you a numbers guy? There's no real man that will say no. So if you say, are you a numbers guy, Mr. New Potential Recruit? He'll say yes. Okay, perfect. You break down the numbers, now he can't even fight you. All right, hopefully that helps. Next, we're gonna move on to fast start. Objections. Fun, fun, fun. First objection. I don't want to go through my friends and family. I think, Shugg, I'm going to do these and then you're going to take over the QA, right?
Yep. Let me pick someone else. Let's go for a male for this.
Uh-oh.
Let me pick on Robert.
I knew it. All right, Robert, you're up.
Can you hear me?
We can
Yeah.
definitely hear
Hear
you.
me?
Yep,
Mhm.
we can hear you.
All
All right,
right.
Tom,
What's this one?
I don't want to
I
go
don't wanna-
through my friends and family.
Okay. The first thing I would ask him was, if you were going to do something, you want to do anything, let's say you're going to open a restaurant, who would be some of the first people you would invite? And then
Oh,
ask
really?
them,
I like
and
that.
ask them why. And just ask them why. And so most people like friends and family, or, and then you say, okay, why them? And try to get them to say it, but if they don't, leave them to it. Well, probably because they give you the most support, right? And so I just kind of walk them like that. But that's the first question I ask. If you were going to do something important, if you're going to open a business, or if you were going to do anything, who would you call on first?
Great job. Awesome,
Yay!
Rob.
That was a great response, Robert. I had faith in you, man.
Yes, I approve of that response. Do you approve of that, Shugg?
I do, because I use that one.
Yep. I use that one too. So what Robert just broke down is he broke down the wall and he normalized going through friends and family. So he went through the referral system. If you guys didn't really hear it clearly, because the people that know you are going to give you the best results or the best referrals. So we want to understand why people say this. Okay, why do people say I don't want to go through my friends and family? They say that because one, they want to make sure that what we do is right for people. And two, not in any specific order, they do have a scarcity mentality, okay? It's not that they don't want to help their friends and family. It's that they're not sure if this is something good for their friends and family. I mean, if your restaurant poisons people, they probably wouldn't be bringing people to your restaurant, right? If that's what's in their mind. They have a scarcity mentality. They think that once you go through their friends and family, then you're going to take all of their market. So the way that Shugg and I overcome this, we use the building team and building the market slide. So let me go ahead and stop screen sharing here. I'm on 2 different computers, so. Okay, so if I were to bring up the fast start standard field training bonus, and I go to this page right here, I don't ever get this objection anymore, guys, if I don't want to go through my friends and family. What I do is when I hit on building the client base, I talk about how we have to go through the qualified market. Why? What is a qualified market? Somebody who's in the target market. Every business has a target market, doesn't it, Shugg?
Yes.
Right. So the target, if you have a restaurant that's a vegetarian restaurant, you're not going to target meat lovers. If you have a hair salon, you're probably not going to target people with no hair, right? Unless you're making wigs, right? Now, if you have a business like this, you're going to target families because why? Families want to talk about savings. Families want to talk about college savings for their children. Families want to talk about protecting their family because they love their children. They love their spouse. So people in the target market here are 4 to 5 pointers, AKA they fall into married. They're age 25 to 55. They have children. They own a home. And they work. They have a consistent income, whether through their job or with their business. When we meet with a family in the target market, Shugg, we call that appointment a qualified appointment, or QA for short. You want to make sure you write that down because you'll hear that a lot. Why is that so important for you to understand and for me to train you on? Because that puts all the odds in your favor. Just like in basketball, would you rather be 2 feet from the hoop or 30 feet from the hoop?
Oh, I forgot that was for me. I want to be 2 feet from.
2 feet, because it makes your shot more simpler, more easy, right? So when we meet with a target market, it makes your shot easier, simpler, because they actually want to talk about that. But in the beginning, you're in field training. You're not going to be doing the qualified appointments. Who's going to be doing? I am. But you're in field training, not field watching. So I give you an opportunity to make your mistakes, explaining certain concepts, information before you're licensed. And who would you rather mess up in front of? People who know you and know you can mess up and you're not trained yet, or people that are real clients that have $100,000 to invest already, Shugg?
People that know me.
People that know you. And isn't it true that people that know you will give you better referrals to other families than people who don't know you at all?
Absolutely.
Right. So every field training appointment is going to be guaranteed to help you make your mistakes, make adjustments, be trained. But my job is to get you 10 qualified referrals from each person that's helping you with training. But I guarantee you 3 to 5 referrals from each field training appointment. So if you put me on 10, best case scenario, 10 leads to 10 each, 10 referrals each, that's 100 new referrals. And how great and confident would you feel about your clientele coming to you if you had 100 clients, potential clients, waiting on your phone call once you're trained?
That's a lot.
Yeah, exactly. So can you see why we help you get trained with the people you know, so you're not getting judged and you feel the most comfortable?
Yes.
Awesome. So hopefully that helps, guys. That was, I don't want to go through my friends and family. And I love the fact that Robert used the old overcoming objection, because we used to use that all the time as well. But if you just touch on referrals, that'll help you a lot more. So next, who is next?
Okay.
We are looking at, I want to just get licensed first.
Who am I going to call? Mama V. I'm sorry. I just want to know what you got to say.
Uh-oh. Mama V, I just want to get licensed first. I don't want to do anything until I'm licensed.
You're still muted, Mama V.
Okay, I unmuted and then, okay, all right, got it. Can you hear me?
Yep,
Yes.
we got you.
Okay, when I say to a person, when they say, I want to get licensed first, is that, okay, waiting to get licensed first. So do you like people to stay in your pocketbook all the time, or would you like me to say out of your pocketbook? So that means that I will be in there. You know, to get licensed first is your kryptonite. So you don't want to do that. You want to make sure that you're getting trained by me first. Don't you agree? And so that when you go out and get your license, then you're on your own, you're well trained, all the money is yours. Unless you want me to stay in your purse, I don't mind staying in it. But taking me out the shop, you probably want me to use my own money instead of staying in your pocketbook. Do you agree?
Okay, so splitting sales, you're using that? Good.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah, and then the next thing is too, you're banking money for your field training bonus, which we already talked about. You'll get a chance to be banking your own money at the same time. And that money becomes yours once you get licensed. If not, then that money is not there.
Okay, Shugg, what do you have to say about that overcoming objection?
I like it. Yes.
Yep. Great overcoming objection. I know she learned that from Shay.
Thank you, Mama V.
Yes, Mama V. So that is a great overcoming objection. You want to use split sales. If the person is right, if it's the right person you're talking to, you guys, then they're going to respond the right way, because the right person thinks long-term all the time. If I knew that I had to give up sales later, then I wouldn't be really happy about it. So, but why do people say this?